Hey there, my name is Allie Ernest. I'm a science fiction and fantasy author. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different. I'll be reviewing a book that I recently read, and I am absolutely in love with this book, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So I recently read Fable by Adrienne Young, and I have read Sky in the Deep in the past, and I loved Sky in the Deep. It is a fantastic, fantastic novel, and if you have not read it, please do. It's well worth your time. It's a YA fantasy set in like the Viking era, and it is phenomenal. I have not read The Girl the Sea gave back, but I've heard it's also really good. It's a companion with Sky in the Deep. I need to. I don't know why I haven't read it. I just don't know why, but Fable is probably my favorite out of the two so far that I have read, even though I love Sky. Don't get me wrong, Sky in the Deep is one of my favorite books. I love it so much. But Fable was really well done in several different ways. And I wanted to talk about them today and kind of give you why I would recommend it. And also, I'm not the only one who thinks so. Recently, Adrienne Young actually announced that Reese Witherspoon has actually put it as her YA Book Club of the Month book or whatever. And I'll link the details down below because I don't know all of them off the top of my head. But that's a huge honor for her, and it's well worth the accolades it has gotten so far from other people. So I'm going to tell you why you should read it. I'm going to give you my three main reasons why I loved it, as well as something that Adrienne Young did as an author that helps me out and something that in my own writing I really need to work on. And I thought it would also help you and give you a good recommendation for somebody who's done this well. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the review now. So this is Fable. I'm going to read the little flap in here to kind of give you an idea of what the book is about. And then we shall talk. Welcome to a world made dangerous by the sea and by those who wish to profit from it, where a young girl must find her place and her family while trying to survive in a world built for men. For a 17-year-old Fable, the daughter of the most powerful trader in the Narrows, the sea is the only home she has ever known. It's been 4 years since the night she watched her mother drown during an unforgiving storm. The next day, her father abandoned her on a legendary island filled with thieves and little food. To survive, she must keep to herself, learn to trust no one, and rely on the unique skills her mother taught her. The only thing that keeps her going is the goal of getting off the island, finding her father, and demanding her rightful place beside him and his crew. To do so, Fable enlists the help of a young trader named West to get her off the island and across the Narrows to her father. But her father's rivalries and dangers of his trading enterprise have only multiplied since she last saw him, and Fable soon finds that West isn't who he seems. Together, they will have to survive more than the treacherous storms that haunt the Narrows if they're going to stay alive. Fable takes you on a spectacular journey filled with romance, intrigue, and adventure. Oh, so good. It gave me Pirates of the Caribbean vibe, which is one of my favorite movies. Specifically, Black Pearl. That's my favorite of all of the 500 of them. Maybe there's only 5. There's only 5. Either way, it's my favorite of the 5. It gave me Pirates of the Caribbean vibe, and there weren't really any pirates in it, but it definitely had that feel to it and the grittiness of it, which is, number one, why I love this book. And so the first thing I want to bring up is the world itself. It was such a cool world. So stinking cool. And Adrienne Young did a really good job describing that world and making you feel like you were part of it. Each scene felt grungy and salty, and you could smell the salt in the air. That's what I mean by salty, I think. Possibly. Yeah. Either way, every scene felt that way, and it was wonderful. Her writing is beautiful, and I loved every minute of it. With that, I do want to talk about Fable herself, and as you listened to when you heard me read the part where her mother died 4 years ago and her father abandoned her on this island, Fable has a lot of baggage, and you can tell that tone kind of carries through the entire novel. And I really liked how that was really consistent, and I was really excited to keep reading because Fable is an intriguing character because of her backstory, which is number 2. Number 2 is every character had a backstory of some sort, shape, or fashion. I love backstories, and this is just like a field day for me because I eat stories with tragic backstories up like nobody's business. I love them. And this one had it in spades. Each character had something to do with the past and that's influencing their future and their decisions, and it was great. And I liked how you got to learn a little bit more about Fable's backstory throughout the story. And in the second book, Namesake, from what I understand, it's going to go even deeper because there are still secrets we weren't told at the end of the book. And I am itching to get my hands on the next one, and I believe it comes out in March, if I'm not mistaken. I think. Either way, I'm really excited about Namesake because Fable was so good because you had those backstories and there was more to it. And the backstories you get in Fable are just, they're so good. And each character, which goes into my third point, each character has a backstory, like I said before. Specifically the Ragtag crew, which is number 3 of my glows, I guess, for Fable. And Young did such a good job taking each character and making them real. Like I said, she gave them backstory. She made them into real people instead of just cardboard cutouts because they were side characters. And that's one thing I really appreciated. And each one had its own arc, in a sense, a mini arc that kind of went along with the plot and kind of helped Fable out on her journey. Loved it so much. So overall, I definitely recommend it based on those 3 things. I loved it so, so much. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is the fact that Adrienne Young did a really good job with her character agency. And that's something I really need to work on as an author. And seeing this in action and seeing this in this book, she just did it really, really well. So each of Fable's decisions directly affected the plot. They were actually what was next in the plot was based on her decisions. And one thing I struggled with in my first book is the fact that I had an obstacle for the characters to overcome. And I think you have to have obstacles, you have to have conflicts, but it wasn't the direct result of the character decisions. And this book had that. It did that so well. And so if you are also struggling with that or wanting to read something where someone has done that well, Fable is an excellent choice for that. So with that being said, that's it for my review. If you want to read the full entire review with spoilers, you can go to my blog, which you can find at www.allieernest.com. I didn't want to go into spoilers on the YouTube video because I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to spoil it for anybody just in case you accidentally leave it running or something. So you can definitely read that on my blog, allieernest.com. It is linked down below. You can find that. And you can also subscribe to my channel where I'll be posting more book reviews in the future because I read a lot and I love to read. And I only review and recommend books that I liked to you. So you can always find something good to read from my reviews is what I'm saying. I do have a backlog on my blog of different reviews I have done in the past. Haven't done YouTube videos on them yet. Maybe I'll go back and I'll do YouTube videos of them. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. And if you're waiting for my next video and you can't wait a week or something, you can join me every Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. and Thursday night at 7 p.m. for writing sprints. I would hope to see you there. We try to get at least an hour, hour and a half of writing done or planning if you're doing Preptober and stuff like that, or NaNoWriMo or whatever time of year this is. That's when I'm recording it. But if you're watching this in the future and it's March, you can still get some writing in or planning in because you can. Sorry, that was a really weird tangent, I think. It's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Happy writing.